What is up, Sexy Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be comparing the Vesper and the Thompson and then looking at both these weapons on round 50 to see which weapon is the better weapon to have, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So we're going to be looking at the Vesper both with and without attachments, and then at the end we'll look at both these weapons with double tap and speed cola. So these two weapons are some of my favorite weapons in zombies. They have extremely fast fire rates and they're SMGs. You have a high mobility, they're perfectly placed wall weapons, and they're actually pretty powerful. So these weapons are definitely some of the best weapons in zombies history, and it was actually pretty interesting to compare these weapons and actually see the results, because each of these weapons sort of excels at one thing while the other sort of doesn't. So I'm going to let you guys watch and listen to each of these guns, just so you can sort of get a feel of how they both look and sound. Alright, so now we're looking at the fire rate, and when we compare both these weapons side by side, we each start them with 20 bullets because that's how much the Thompson actually carries. The Vesper actually carries 30, and I start firing at the exact same time. The Vesper is going to win both with and without attachments. Its fire rate is almost double what the Thompson is. This Vesper's fire rate is so fast, and then when you put those attachments on there, this thing just gets even faster. The Thompson, really, in all honesty, can't even compete. I thought the Thompson was fast back in the day, but when I got my hands on this Vesper, I was just amazed. This Vesper's fire rate is so fucking fast that it's actually almost up there with the World War PPSH. It's not quite there, but it's almost up there, and that's actually really, really impressive. Now when we actually look at the reload speed for both of these weapons, the Thompson versus the Vesper without attachments, the Thompson is just a teeny tiny bit faster. It's really not enough to actually notice it, and then when you actually throw attachments on there and you get fast mags on that Vesper, the Vesper is just going to blow the Thompson out of the water. It's not even a competition. These attachments really make Black Ops 3 weapons just so much better. It wouldn't even be a fair comparison if it was just the Vesper with attachments versus the Thompson, because the Vesper would almost win everything. Now here's one thing that the Thompson kind of excels at. Well, it doesn't really excel at. It just does better than the Vesper, and that's the recoil. When we compare both these recoils, the Thompson's just goes straight up. That's all it really does. But the Vesper, on the other hand, is kind of random. It's going to go left, it's going to go right. It'll make an L shape, it'll fucking do a circle, it'll do a hexagon. I'm not sure how it does, but it'll do it. The Vesper's recoil is just all over the place. It's not as repetitive as the Thompson's. Like, the Thompson is just going to keep repeating the same thing. It's just going to go straight up. And after a couple shots, you kind of know that, okay, all I have to do is hold down a little bit and I'm going to be fine. But with the Vesper, you don't know if that thing is going to go left, right, middle, up, down, inside out. You have no idea where the fuck that thing's going, and that makes it kind of hard to control the recoil. When you do throw some attachments on there, I would say it's about even with the Thompson. The Thompson still might have the advantage, but it is a little bit more controllable. Now when it comes to hip fire, I'm definitely going to give this one to the Thompson. The Vesper has that really bad recoil where it just goes everywhere, and that can kind of affect the hip fire because your hip fire is kind of just going to go everywhere as well. With the Thompson, it's kind of just going to be the same. It's just going to go really up. You're not really going to be going all over the place like you will with the Vesper. Even if you throw attachments on there, you're still going to be going all over the place. So when it comes to hip fire, if you want more of a controlled hip fire, the Thompson's definitely the better one. If you want more of a sporadic hip fire, that's when you might want to go with the Vesper. And last but not least, we're going to look at the ammo, and the Thompson's going to carry 20 in the magazine and 200 in stock unupgraded, and when you actually upgrade it's going to carry 40 in the magazine and 250 in stock, which really isn't that much. Out of all the ammo that a lot of weapons hold, this is definitely on the lower end of that scale. And the Vesper isn't too much better off. It's going to carry 30 in the magazine and 210 in stock unupgraded, and when you actually upgrade it's going to hold 60 in the magazine and 360 in stock. So neither of these weapons really carry a lot of ammo. Now of course the Vesper wins this one just because it carries a little bit more, but it's not too big of a difference, and they are both wall weapons, so that can kind of make this a little bit irrelevant, but the Vesper still does carry more ammo. Alright, so now we'll look at the upgraded versions of both these weapons. I'll let you guys watch and listen to both these weapons so you can sort of get a feel for them, and then we'll get on to the fire rate, reload speed, recoil, and hip fire and everything else. Alright, so now when we look at the fire rate of both these weapons upgraded, the Vesper is still going to win. The Vesper's fire rate is still a lot faster than the Thompson. The difference did decrease a little bit, but the Vesper with the attachments is still going to be the ultimate fire rate weapon. It's going to be, again, almost up there with the PPSH, which is really, really impressive because the PPSH was known to have an impressive fire rate, similar to the MG42. Those two weapons were fire rate prodigies, and the Vesper is definitely up there with them, and the Thompson, I would say, is just one tier below them. It's almost up there, but it just doesn't have that fire rate to where it can be up there with the greats. Alright, so next, we're going to look at the reload speed, and when it comes to reload speed, the Vesper and the Thompson are basically tied. There's only really a difference of a frame or two, so in reality, there's no difference. You're never going to notice this in zombies, but of course, when you throw some attachments on there and you get those fast mags on there, the Vesper is by far the winner. The Thompson's reload speed can't even compete. Alright, so now that we look at recoil of both these upgraded versions, I'm going to have to give this one to the Thompson. Even with the Vesper with attachments, I'm still going to give this one to the Thompson. The Thompson's recoil is predictable. You know what it's going to do. It's just going to go straight up. But with the Vesper, even with attachments, it's still going to be random. You don't know where it's going to go, so it's going to be harder to control. With the Thompson, you can actually shoot zombies from pretty far away because that recoil is just going to go straight up. So all you have to do is just sort of compensate for that and aim a little bit farther down. Or actually just hold your mouse or controller down a little bit so that way the recoil isn't too bad. But with the Vesper, you're going to go left, right, up, down, middle, sideways. You're going to go all over the place, so it's very, very hard to control. So when it comes to recoil, the Thompson is definitely the winner. And when we look at hipfire, again, I'm going to have to give this one to the Thompson. It's just very predictable. You know exactly what it's going to do. With the Vesper, it's going to be all over the place. You're going to go up, you're going to go left, you're going to go right, just like I previously stated with the recoil. You don't know where it's going to go. It's very unpredictable. Still going to be kind of hard to actually hit zombies from medium to far range. Hell, even some zombies up close might actually be pretty hard to hit. But with the Thompson, you know exactly what that hipfire is going to do and exactly where it's going to go. So hipfire belongs to the Thompson. So all in all, it looks like the Vesper is definitely the faster weapon, and the Thompson is definitely the more accurate weapon. So it all really kind of depends on which one you kind of want. If you want something to kill zombies faster, you probably are going to want to go with the Vesper. If you want something that's more accurate and more reliable, and can actually be used from close to far range, then you might want to go with the Thompson. It all really comes down to personal preference and how you play zombies. I'm always going to be a sucker for the Thompson. It's definitely one of my favorite weapons in zombies history, and that nostalgic boner I get whenever I use it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So definitely my favorite weapon is the Thompson. So I'll let you guys watch both these weapons with perks so you can sort of get a feel for it, and then we'll compare both these weapons on round 50. Alright, so when it comes to both these weapons on round 50, they're both fantastic weapons. Usually a lot of guns don't work on high rounds, but these two weapons can actually still kill some zombies. They can actually still do something, and really the only downside to both these weapons is the amount of ammo they actually hold. They're going to be running through ammo very, very quick, and if you're just relying on these two weapons alone to get you some kills, and you keep going back and buying ammo with these weapons, you might find that you're going to be losing more points than you're actually gaining, just because the amount of points you earn with these weapons doesn't really equal the amount that you have to spend on ammo. But besides that, as long as you're aiming for headshots, these weapons can take out some zombies pretty quick. They are both excellent weapons on round 50. And they both behave very, very similar, and they're both going to kill zombies very, very quick. Now, if I had to say which one is the better one, it's a tough call. I would honestly say they're tied. They are both great weapons, and it's really, really hard to tell which one's the better one. I mean, I guess if I had to go statistically, I would definitely have to say probably the Vesper, just because it has a faster fire rate, a faster reload speed, so you're going to be able to kill more zombies faster, and it carries a little bit more ammo. But the Thompson's still a great weapon, and it's still going to do its job. So it's really hard to say which one is going to be the better one, and if they were both on the same map, I'm definitely just going to pick the Thompson just because I absolutely love that weapon so much. But the Vesper is still an amazing weapon, and it's definitely one of my favorite weapons in Black Ops 3. So all in all, I'm going to say both these weapons are tied, and I'm very curious to know which weapon do you guys prefer, the Vesper or the Thompson, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.